a few months later, I started my band, and I realized that it was just I started it with just friends who believed in me. I'm sure you relate to that in some form as well. But like my friends started that band with me to play those songs on that first album that I made, and we ended up playing a show at a rock club called the Bitter End in New York City. It was a charity concert by an organization called Kids Rock for Kids. Basically, their mission is they give money to kids experiencing homelessness, kids experiencing war by throwing these concerts with younger bands. And we were lucky enough to be on the bill for one of their shows, and we just started. That kind of set us off into a lot of things. We
Hmm.
played a lot of shows that summer, um, and I just looked for every single possible thing that I could get. But I think the difference was this time I had people with me for the first time,
Hmm.
um, and I think that really inspired me to keep looking for things. I think, and it's not always. It wasn't just we weren't making money at all in the beginning of our first, like like we're still probably not making enough money to live at all, but we played so many things that inspired us to keep going. And then we,
Sure.
we played so many shows that led us to believe in ourselves and realize that, hey, this could be a possible thing. Like we went from playing that rock club that was like 250 people. We moved up. We played Mercury Lounge in February, and it was fantastic. And that was the first show that I stood up by myself. And then we had a bill with like three bands. It was like the smallest bill because like when you start out, you're like used to
Yeah.
going with like
I was
10,
just about to say
15
that's a
bands.
great bill, man. Because
Yeah.
like you were about to say, like when you're first starting out, there's usually like 9 bands in the bill,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
exactly.
like
And you get put up in like in the eighth band, and people are like
yeah,
leaving
nobody
and
wants
stuff.
to hear the other. Yeah, oh gosh, man. Exactly.
It's
That's a
it's
that's
just how
funny.
it is. It's just how it is.
Yeah,
But I think
absolutely.
I really got used to these nine band bills, and I just grew to love it. Like just seeing all different bands, and like they're not always good. But then as we kept playing more shows, I kept getting into like these 9, 10 band bills, but the bands got better. So I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
I'm starting to enjoy this. But the three band shows, I was like, wait a second, this is kind of cool. Like people
Yeah,
are just here for me, you know.
yeah,
But that took a long time to build up to.
yeah.
And I ended up just playing guitar for, not just my band, but I ended up playing guitar for a couple other projects. So that like not just putting all of my stuff into my band, like I think as a live musician, if you want to survive as a live musician, you really got to put yourself out there with other projects and not just your own. And I love my original music, and that's like my main thing. But
Yeah.
I really had to put my guitar playing elsewhere in the session stuff and also live stuff, right? So I ended up joining another band called Kaleidoscope, which I play extensively with, and they're like my second project now. Like we moved together, and I play a lot of like sub shows every now and then. But Kaleidoscope is my consistent second project. That band, we played our first arena in April this year, and it was that I walked on that stage. I was like, okay, I can do this. I feel like all that work and dreaming of like building up in like like the past year felt worth it to me. Like running around venues, like
Hmm.
I had no tech, I had no like people to help me set things up. I was on stage plugging all my stuff in. I
Yeah.
was carrying amps and guitars around on subways, and
I was just about to ask that if you had a car or not, if you're taking this stuff on
no, no,
subways.
I'm in New York City. There's no way I'm
It's
driving around.
exactly, I know exactly. That's why I
Yeah.
was laughing in
I
my head. That's
I
so funny.
my hands and shoulders are gone now. Just, carrying stuff, and it's like in subways at late nights, like it's just like it's not it, right? But I felt like I think in summer of 2023, first of all, I had really good friends surrounding me, so I felt like I wasn't alone in that struggle.
Hmm.
So it didn't feel like I was like, the starving artist going from bar to bar. But we did end up playing a lot of really cool shows. We played some street festivals and stuff, but
Mm.
it all involved dragging gear around. But I grew
Yeah.
to love that aspect of it as well because I felt like I was doing something that wasn't going to something that was nothing. And in regards to your question of like just like my thoughts and like the sustainability of it all, I think I still don't know how it could be a sustainable thing for me. I'm still starting out. You've got so many more years in the industry ahead of me, but as someone who's played just like about every show he could find this year, I think that I find a lot of opportunity and inspiration and motivation in branching out. I don't just like say yes to every single person that says, "Hey, can you play guitar for my band?" Right? But I have branched out quite a bit. I play guitar here and there in different venues, and like just like seeing all the variation of things and seeing how each venue in New York works, you know,
Mm.
like whether it be like the tiniest DIY show or like a nicer club, or even moving up a little bit, you know, to like venues like Mercury Lounge, which get my band on Ticketmaster, you know, like that feels a little bit more real. It's like that spectrum of things. Just seeing that at least makes me feel that something there is possible.
Yeah.
And it's not a sustainable thing for sure at the beginning, but if you're willing to just really work at it, I think that there's always opportunity there.